little bit, and who needs it where it's, hey, we're not talking about the season's a lost cause on Monday morning if they lose again?
I think the Dallas Cowboys need it more. And I'll tell you why. I think they need it more because we know their defense is trash. And we know there's no light at the end of the proverbial tunnel when it comes to that. The offense is carrying you. So ultimately, with George Pickens doing his thing, listen, ultimately you're going to get CeeDee Lamb back. And you're expecting their offense will be even more prolific, right? So since that's the expectation, the Dallas Cowboys or the Alice Cowboys are clearly planning on scoring 35 to 40 a game. And there's nobody who could definitively say that can't happen with the way Dak Prescott is playing because the brother's an MVP candidate. We got to give love where love is due, okay? Even I have to sit here, Kimberly, and I have to say Baker Mayfield might be ahead of him, okay? I got to look at Daniel Jones as well and others. But Dak Prescott is in the conversation considering the kind of season that he's had. 4 offensive linemen out, 4 of them, along with CeeDee Lamb, and you still playing the way that you playing offensively. We got to give Dak Prescott a boatload of credit, and we got to fantasize about the possibility that their offense will be incredibly prolific when you talk about CeeDee Lamb with George Pickens both being out there for defenses to have to deal with, okay? But the point is that you're riding on that because you can't rely on your defense. No matter what happens to the Washington Commanders, we got a belief in Jaden Daniels, but we also believe structurally, culturally, with Quinn as a head coach, an experienced guy that once took a team to a Super Bowl. We've got to believe that even with a loss, eventually they will right the ship as the season progresses. We know that the Dallas Cowboys are going to nosedive if they can't get anything going offensively because their defense is just trash, and that's the issue.
Steven, you're a smart guy. Been covering sports a very long time. So I'm a little surprised how wrong you could be on this. Because if we are going to say, if you are literally in one breath going to say the Dallas defense is trash, it's so bad, the D's not even there, you can't argue that this game, the Commanders don't need this game more because they are facing a team that has allowed, they just gave up 239 yards from scrimmage to Rico Dowdle. They allowed Russell Wilson, who's not even a starter anymore, to throw for 450. If the Commanders lose to the Cowboys, you cannot sit here and tell me that you are not going to show up on TV the next day talking about, I don't know, Jaden Daniels, I was expecting them to win, but now I don't know what to think because they lost to the Cowboys. Like, what's going on? Right? Like, that to me.
First of all, I actually like that imitation. I really
It was good.
I know, I think you very well. I know, yes.
It's pretty damn good. I got to give it to you. I like it, all right? But here's what I'm saying, Kimberly. All I'm trying to say is this. I think that the Commanders can afford a loss and continue moving forward as the season progresses to correct the ship. I think Dallas's defense is what it is, so they need to take every bit of crumbs they have while they can grab it because I don't believe there's any relief in sight on the defensive side of the ball and that their defense will lose several games for them. I think Sunday's game against Carolina was a perfect example. They didn't lose that game because of their offense. The fact is that their defense, Rico Dowdle showed up. Rico Dowdle, not Rico Suave. Rico Dowdle showed up and said, yo, a week in advance to buckle up. The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys said his former teammate told us to show up, told us to buckle up. We didn't buckle up. And we all know it was because of the defense. I'm saying that Sunday's game was a perfect example of what may very well transpire more often than not as this season progresses. The offense shows up, produces, but the defense gives you nothing to lean on, and as a result, it costs you games. I think that's what's going to happen to the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that's the reason why Jerry Jones is going to go into the offseason with a bunch of people chirping about the fact that he didn't have a pass rusher to get to these opposing quarterbacks and Micah Parsons because he let him walk out the door, and it made your defense suffer.
Again, the Green Bay defense has been awful with quote-unquote Lawrence Taylor.
Wow, man.
Oh, they have so bad, the Packer defense. But I'm going to base this simply on where we are at the records and the fact they're home.
Yep.
3-3, 2-3-1. Obviously in Dallas, I say the game a little. If you will think about division, and if Dallas, why would you not think about that right now?
That's
so.
really
I think the game would be a little bit more important for Dallas. Home game, divisional opponent, they got a worse record. Need to win the game.
I would add in this, all this talk of Dallas's defense. Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. That offensive line is one of the highest paid offensive line. Like, Jerry can't be surprised that all their resources are being spent on offense. So this might be how it is, Stephen A. This might be what the budget is.
Peter, Kimberly, I'm very disappointed in the both of you.
Go on.
For letting Doggy sit there and talk that drivel. The Green Bay Packers gave up 40 points to the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of that, these are their other 4 games, okay? They've given up 13, 18, okay, 13, and 18.
He's right. Packers.
Doggy got us thinking they've been giving up 30 like it's going out of style.
So take back the Lawrence
13, 18,
Taylor
13, and 18.
It's been pretty good. That's the strength of their team. That's a bad
one of them was in Cleveland. Shall we? That's a terrible.
But they had Cleveland had 3 points with
Well, I agree, but I'm not going to give him credit for stopping the Cleveland Browns. And Flacco went up and down in the second half.
You said their defense has been awful. They got one game when they were awful. One.
1.5. 1.5.
One.
1.5.
Stop it. Stop it. All right, you're ridiculous. So that's a half game now. I never heard of a half game. I thought it was a game. I never heard of a half game. You're so ridiculous. Go to break, Peter. Go to break. We can't take it no more.
Do we believe they win the NFC East? Will they win the division?
Well, clearly, as Dan Graziano will tell you, the Eagles can't. So I do think they will. No, I don't. I don't.
You don't.
I think they can.
Gonna be the Eagles.
I think they can. I really do think the Eagles just have a better roster. I think when I look at the Commanders, they've scuffled a little bit, but I believe in their quarterback. So when you say, well, the Commanders win the NFC East, it's the Jaden Daniels effect that makes me think, you know what? They could. But when you look at the team totally, I think the Eagles just have a better roster.
Yeah, Jaden's incredible, and I think at the very least you're going to be in every game,
right,
and they could win every game they're playing in because he is that good.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately you're right. But the Eagles winning the division isn't enough. But I do think they're the best team in that division, and they will break the streak and win back-to-back divisions. Then we'll see if they get it together enough to make a run in the playoffs like they did last year.
And we can shut Roz up, which would be like for everybody. You see the numbers up there. Our analytics overwhelmingly favor the Eagles. They have that game up in the standings, but they did lose in the division to the Giants. All right, the last one. Here's what I promise you, and make everybody crazy. At the very least, can I put the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs?
Oh, my word.
Jeff Saturday.
You are delusional, too.
I'm delusional.
You and Durant.
That high-flying offense when they get CeeDee Lamb back.
Did you see Rico Dowdle in their defense? That Jerry thinks is legit getting run through over 6 yards a kick? Come on.
Let me tell you something, Greedy.
If
a man 7 days out from the game tells you to buckle up,
thank you,
and then comes in and runs for almost 200 yards,
let him know in the back.
That defense is not something that I can believe in because I would die. He made it public.
Yeah.
He said, listen, guys, you didn't sign me, buckle up.
Yes.
You gonna tell me to buckle up?
Thank you.
And then come to my house? Well, it wasn't the house, but they come
in Carolina.
and then actually execute on that?
I'm going to tell you
That's
right now.
ridiculous.
I would have put 12 guys on the field and accepted penalties before I let that dude do that to me.